Hi, it's JP Morgan.
And this is Lars Lindstrom.
And it's time for Photo Video Trends.
We are live.
We are live for the month of May.
No
I know.
What month is it?
May.
We're a week early.
The month of May. Pre-Mother's Day sale, or...
Show.
Show. Pre-Mother's Day
show.
Show.
We're never doing this live again.
Oh, we got back from NAB not too long ago, so this is going to kind of be an NAB wrap-up.
Yeah.
So whatever happened there. All right, that's enough for me. I need
What's
to
the
take a
name
break.
of the show? I don't even know what the name of the show is.
What's the name of the show?
Yeah, Judy, what's the name of the show?
We're talking about the Sony A9 and the NAB wrap-up.
Sony A9 and the NAB wrap-up. Once again in unison.
Oh, man.
So we are the Chipmunks.
Do
Can you play this really slow or fast? Never mind.
What?
Like the Chipmunks. We could talk really slow and they speed it up.
Uh-huh.
Then we start talking fast.
Okay.
You never know the Chipmunks?
Yeah, of course I do. I have no idea what it has to do with the show at all, though.
It has nothing to do with the show. As a kid, you'd get a 45 record, you know, and you would play it at slow speed, and the guys just like, and then we go down the street, and they play, and then we go down the street. We thought that was so cool.
Hysterical.
Hey, in my day, it didn't take much to amuse the kiddos. Didn't take much.
Hysterical.
Hysterical.
Oh, man. We were just talking about generational stuff.
Yes, we were.
Oh, man.
Yes,
I was saying that our generation is doomed. We're just all like, and I completely include myself in this. We're just all super entitled, and we just expect like everything to be like ours. And if it's not, like, well, that's not fine. Like, I'm not okay with that. Like, that needs to change. That needs to change right now.
Yeah.
We need to change that.
There you go.
Should we talk about photo stuff?
Let's talk about photo stuff.
Yeah. I don't want to do that. I don't want to. We should change. We got to change right now.
Yeah. I'm feeling too stressed by it.
It's too hot.
Too much.
I can't do it. I don't want to do it.
Okay.
I'm going to go home.
Just send money.
Yeah. Just send money, too.
Hey, we want to mention up front here, we have a Tamron giveaway this month.
Cool.
A 85mm 1.8 lens. Fabulous lens. I have this lens. I've shot with it many, many times. Fabulous lens. Get over to theslanteddlens.com. You can sign up to win that lens, and hopefully you will. Hopefully you will.
Yep. Hopefully you will. Maybe I will. I'll sign up for it.
There you go.
Yeah.
You probably aren't qualified.
I probably am not, but I should be. Why am I not?
I'm not sure. All right, should we go on to what was the biggest topic at NAB for you?
For me, I mean, I'm in the market for RGB LED lights.
You were anxious to find something that's going to compare with the Sky Pan.
With the Sky Panel.
Sky Panel.
The RE Sky Panel.
Not the Sky Pan,
so
which is a different... Anyway.
Right.
Sky
Yeah,
Panel.
no, we never talk about the Sky Pan anymore. It's Peter Pan in the sky. Yeah, Sky Pan. You know,
Sky Pan.
That guy.
Sky Panel.
Sky Panel. The RE Sky Panel, which is an amazing light. It's beautiful, but a 2x1 is $5,500.
Yeah, it's an amazing light at $5,500.
$5,500, right. So my goal, because they came out with that last year or the year before, my goal was to find innovating companies that came out with something at half that price that still maybe compete quality-wise with what the Sky Panel does. And I was very pleased with the direction the industry is heading, and if you're a light manufacturer, you'd be really dumb not to be heading that direction, because
RGB is the next stage.
RGB, and the Sky Panel in particular, is the most used light in Hollywood right now, I think. It's like anybody that owns one, it's being rented out constantly. I cannot, like I'll text, I know 3 guys that own Sky Panels, and I'll text them all if I need a Sky Panel, and all the time, just like, oh, sorry man, it's all checked out. I'll rent it out. So.
Well, it's a $5,000 light.
It's
$5,000. It's an RGB light, so we talked about this earlier. Your output is down because you got to set up 4.
You got 4. It's RGBW, right?
RGBW.
RGB white, and then so your output levels. You just have to make sure you've got a really great engine and super efficient LED lights, and while maintaining a high CRI. So there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of technology, and that's why I respect the $5,500 price tag that ours.
It makes a lot of sense.
Makes a lot of sense.
For as punchy as they are, have you used one? They're punchy.
They're so bright.
Yeah, so there's a lot of technology, a lot of money that they put in there. So. Yeah. Westcott had one. Westcott had an RGB.
It was really
I looked
bright.
at it. It was very
cool.
bright.
The control panel was super clunky, and they're changing it. It's all about app control, right?
Yep.
So it has to have wireless Bluetooth or wireless DMX app control, so that you can dial in any color. So if you don't know what RGBW LED lights are, it essentially allows you to get any color on the light spectrum and at bright outputs. So you could say to your gaffer, look, we're in this grocery store, and they're using soft white fluorescent bulbs, and everybody knows those are 4200, maybe plus 6 green, right?
Plus 6 green, yeah.
So you go into your camera and you go 4200 plus 6 or minus 6 green, right, to compensate for that. And then you go to your Sky Panel and you go 4200 plastic screen so that it matches exactly what your lights are doing, and it just does it magically. You could, if you wanted like a CTO gel, like a full CTO, that's stupid because that's just bicolor. But like if you wanted like party pink gel, you can dial in that hue and saturation and just get it. You can even, it even has like a gel, like a, so you can scroll through like the Lee or Roscoe gel list, which is
That's
awesome.
a cinema light, because if you got some weird scene, you want to just throw some red in the background, you want to do some weird colors, you know.
That can take a long time.
Yeah, that gives you just whatever you want.
Yeah.
Fabulous light.
Super cool.
Well, we know that's great, but anybody else other than Westcott?
Westcott had one. So KinoFlow also does their Kino Celebs, so which are pretty cool. And then Light Panels, actually, who's a company that I have quite a few of their lights and use them quite a bit, also has an RGB prototype, right? So it's a 2x1, so it's very similar to the RE. They're, I think price-wise, they're not really sure, maybe $3,900. So it is cheaper, but we're still kind of pro pricing here. So there's a company called Digital Sputnik that has RGB spots that just came out with a 4-foot tube, LED RGB tube. That's what I was going to NAB for, and they had a studio offsite somewhere, and I never got to see it.
You got a road trip?
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, I went looking for more powerful LEDs, because I wish I could find something that wasn't $1 billion, that's like a 4K, you know?
Or even a 2K. Like, look, or
a
like
real 2K.
M18, think M18, the RE1800 HMI, in a LED equivalent, and it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Except for maybe Mole Richardson.
Yeah, as far as being
5
that
or
much
10K.
power.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although, you know what? Well, so anyway, along those terms, but I want to get back to that retrofit thing.
Hated it.
You hated it? I want to know why.
Yeah.
So, I saw there's a 300D that new Aperture came out with. Very bright light, very punchy. You know, they're 120D. This is a 300D. So he says it's almost 3 times as much light. It's
pretty cool.
You know, very nice. Roscoe had their 305, which is a more powerful light than their 210 Silk, but it's in a vertical housing, which I like that a lot.
What's the footprint on it? Is it 2x2? Is it a 1x2?
No. It's a 1x3.
A 1x3. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So it's like a 3 foot, 1 foot. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Somewhere roughly around 1x3.
A little bit more wrap there. All right.
Yep.
Great.
So, they also have a 1x2. It's a little smaller, more of a vertical light. Silk light, the 210. It's a 205 is what they call it.
Oh, cool.
So they have that as well. So I saw more powerful LEDs. I fear that what's going to happen, though, is that the technology run is going to run out, and they're going to all go to RGB now, and they're going to be starting over at the beginning, trying to make those more powerful again.
Yeah. Well, the good news about LED technology is, like computing technology, they get twice as bright and half as power needy every year, right? Yeah. So we're on the right track. And RGB can still use that increasing speed and technology for LED lights, but just in an RGB white pattern.
Yeah. So what do you hate? We saw a guy who takes and puts an LED in your old 2K or 1K housing, like an Aries housing or whatever. Yeah. It's just a plug-in. It's a simple
LED bulb that you just plug into like where your 2K tungsten bulb would go, and it turns your Mole Richardson tungsten giant 2K into an LED light.
Guys from Able Cine there were metering a 2K, and it was within 1/8 of a stop.
No.
No?
No. It was, the power output was so bad. It was measly. The power output was crazy bad.
So how crazy
Your
bad?
300D would be, from my perceivable eye, I didn't have a meter, so there's no math or technology
you're just looking at it going...
Yeah, looking at it going, this is 1/3 of the brightness of the 300D.
I'm going to get him to send me one. I'm going to test it.
Yeah, no. See, you've got this giant Mole Richardson 2K housing. If you had the same output and throw as a standard tungsten 2K bulb, I'd be super stoked. In daylight color, it was not even close. I would say, from my eye, it was like a 300 watt.
Really?
Ugh, it was
that's
bad.
A waste.
It was
those
a
big
total.
housings.
Yeah, you got this giant. I'm not gonna get out of bed for that.
No, that's what. Yeah, your generation doesn't even.
Yeah. 300 watts. I'm going back to sleep. Yeah, I don't know why I sleep like this. Apparently, I'm a vampire.
Yeah. I thought that's when people were dead.
Yeah.
All right. But anyway, as far as I did see some great big. I can't remember the company that makes them. These great big 4 and 5K lights, but they're just monsters, man.
4 and 5K LED lights.
Yeah.
So Hive makes some
Hive,
pretty
that
cool
was the
stuff.
one, yes.
So the Boxster
Yes,
one
big
is just
box.
like this, and I mean, honestly their pricing is great. It's right on point. It's a high output far throw LED light, which is nice, so that you can start shaping it. You can do it as a crazy backlight from 40 feet away, and
Yeah,
you're still going to do something
really
nice. Or you can use it as a book light. Get a bounce off of 4x through some an 8x half silk or something like that. That'd be beautiful. I like those lights.
Yeah.
I would love to own one of those lights.
There
I
you
would
go.
love to have one of those
So
lights.
we have to talk with them about that.
Hive. They're in LA.
Make
You're in
Lars
LA.
happy.
Make me happy.
Make
yeah.
Lars happy.
Oh, they're cool. Anyway.
Okay, well, let's go on. I think we had a meeting, you and I and Kenneth,
Yeah.
with Sony and their A9. And what'd you think? So the A9.
Sony
Sony
A9.
Any questions about the A9? We know it all.
Yeah.
We don't really.
We
know it
don't
all.
know.
We had about 15
I
minutes with the
said
camera.
like dual CMOS sensor, and the guy nearly lost his mind.
He did.
Yeah. No.
Not a dual sensor.
It's not a dual. You gotta stop saying that, man. Oh, okay. I think I will.
Well, certain things we'll tolerate.
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
Sony
The
booth.
dual. It's like, well, you guys set me up. They totally set me up. What is their official, like, when they announced it? It was like I thought it said dual CMOS sensor, but apparently.
Well, what was it? What was the technicality? What did he
So
say?
you've got it's a backlit full frame sensor, and behind it you've got your pixel readout.
Yes.
Processor.
Yes.
So and it's the full sensor size, I guess. So rather than pixel banking each line over and then redistributing the signal, which now you've got more noise because anytime you process or try to get an image digitally with a bunch of zeros and ones somewhere, and if that path is longer, you're going to add noise and you're going to slow it down. So it's directly behind the sensor, and I guess it just stores the
Well, he said
pixels
it
behind
still
it.
goes line by line.
Yeah.
But it's moving that line by line straight back to that second sensor.
Right.
And so it moves it
Yeah.
faster. It also eliminates a lot of the, that jello effect when you're doing
Right.
video, which
I hope so.
that's what he
I don't
claimed.
know. Is that okay? Yeah.
That was
great.
that was the claim. So.
Yeah. The shutter angle. What do they call? No, not shutter angle. What do they call that? I've totally blanked.
Rolling shutter.
Rolling shutter.
The rolling shutter.
The rolling shutter. That's the
Yep.
name of my band, by the way.
There you go. Rolling shutter.
The rolling shutters.
The rolling shutter. Are you a hair band?
Hairband. Oh, totally. Yeah. Yes. Question.
Ross Thomas wants to know only JP's thoughts. No, just kidding. He just specifically mentioned JP's thoughts on the A9 shooting 20 frames per second in 14-bit uncompressed versus 10 frames per second 12-bit compressed.
Well, JP, what do you think, man? So, thoughts
I-
on shooting 20 frames at 14-bit
Uncompressed
uncompressed versus?
10 frames per second 12-bit compressed.
Is it the other way around?
This is what he said.
No, it's 20 frames 12-bit compressed versus
Compressed.
10 frames 14-bit uncompressed.
Uncompressed.
What do you think, JP?
Well, I think the Sony has set themselves up to be a super fast sports photography mode, and so I think the way they've set it up is fabulous.
I don't think that answers my question.
No, it doesn't really, does it?
Yeah. So, and I think that's fine. I think it just depends on what you're doing, right? So
It
if you're
really
doing
does.
sports and you need 20 frames, shoot 20 frames and you get
Yeah.
12-bit compressed. If you
I would rather have
yeah.
uncompressed.
Sure, you would.
I would.
Guaranteed.
I just would. I feel like the quality for me is always king, and so compressed is a problem to me. But if
Yeah.
I'm shooting sports stuff and I've got to have compressed and I need that kind of quick, my word,
20
we're
frames
shooting
a
on the thing. 20 frames a second. I mean, we were shooting.
I
like-
shot.
Lars
I went like this, and I had 60 photos, just
yeah,
like that.
Just like that.
Crazy.
So, but I would
3
always,
seconds.
my option would always go with uncompressed. Mm-hmm. But that's more what I do. I'm not
Yeah.
doing sports. I'm not.
No, you're
concerned about
more of a
sports.
single guy anyway.
I'm
You don't like
although
this
I
pull
do
frames.
bursts. I do
Yeah.
bursts. I
Do
don't
you
like
do bursts?
pulling
Yeah.
frames from video, but I do bursts all the time. But I don't. It would drive. I couldn't do the A9 in a burst mode. Like last night, I was shooting a gal out at sunset, and I'm going. I wouldn't want that many frames to deal with. You
Yeah.
know, I can see it. I can shoot it. I can if I pick up 8 or 9 frames in a burst and go on. That's plenty, man. I don't need 60.
In 3 seconds, you'd have 60.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
would,
imagine you'd be filling cards pretty fast
Oh,
there.
my.
You've got a dual SD card, which is something we didn't mention in the live
Yes.
stream, right? So, which is nice. I mean, you're just keeping up with the Joneses at this point. I think everybody else has been on that game for a
Yeah.
while. At least Canon has, which is like a miracle that Canon
Canon's
is
ahead on something?
ahead on something. Speaking of Canon, we need to apologize for our
Yes, we
previous. I don't know if apology is in order, but
Canon rumor hoax. So it was a hoax. All they added was C-Log.
and they charged $100 for it.
Yeah, they're not even adding it. Well, the new Mark IVs will have it.
Yeah,
Did they go up $100?
they
went
did.
up $100? The new Mark IVs have it, but they went up in $100 in price.
Oh.
That is just petty. Petty
Come
is
on,
the only
dude.
word. Petty,
Canon.
petty.
Oh,
They did it to keep the previous owners happy.
They did keep the previous owner. Oh, sure. Oh, sure.
And charge
That's
charge
what the
$100
marketing
for it.
department says.
Oh, yeah,
We're
yeah,
just
yeah.
doing this to keep the previous owners happy.
Yeah, yeah,
Meanwhile,
yeah.
we're going to take your $100.
Yeah.
Hand over fist.
Including the previous owners.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we're doing this to make you guys happy, as long as you pay us for it.
How about you give it to the previous owners? And
Yeah,
you don't raise
and
the
you
price
include
of
it
the
in
already
the-
inferior camera.
You guys are worthless. I'm sorry. But
Although,
where
you
is
know
their
what?
innovation?
Okay, so let's talk a little more. Did we answer the question about the frames? for
We
a
talked.
second?
We answered that question.
Enough that is he happy with that answer?
There's no follow-up. So.
No follow-up.
Okay.
So I'm
Well,
assuming
let's just talk
he
more
left.
about the camera. The camera, the A9, I think is really geared towards sports photography.
Uh-huh.
I mean, obviously that's its world. It is.
Yeah, and animals.
And animals, running fast animals,
Still life.
still life
Yeah.
in. But I don't know what else impressed you about it. We went through everything. I mean, it's an impressive camera. It is an impressive camera. It's got a better battery. It's got a larger battery, so you'll be able to have it shoot longer, which I think
Oh, that was
Sony
cool.
had to do.
That was cool. So their previous battery, did like 300 shots
was terrible.
on the A7 series?
they're
It's like
just awful.
350 shots, something like this. This guy does like 6,000?
Yeah, 6,000.
Something like that. So pretty nice.
Yeah.
Pretty nice.
So much
Improvement
better,
there.
much better. So we've improved on the memory.
From my standpoint, from a video standpoint, it did nothing new, right?
Yeah, was there 120 frames per second at 1080p?
I think so.
No.
Yeah. Was there not?
I don't think so.
I think so.
Was there?
That's like
Anybody out
technology
there?
that they already. Yeah. Somebody look that up for me, please.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Their video.
We don't have the video specs on here. But we have it here. We have it here.
Oh, all right, great.
I got it.
Cool. Unless somebody responds faster than JP's paper.
All right. 120, 100.
Yeah, they do it. 120
1080p.
frames.
Yeah, you're
Yep,
right.
100 megabits
All
per
right,
second.
so that's good. So,
Yeah.
okay, here's a dilemma for me, and I'll just throw this out there because I'm already in this dilemma this week.
No, this dilemma you've had for over a year, JP. And we've talked
Maybe
about
2
it
years.
every single month on this show for the last year and a half.
I'm talking about what camera to buy next.
We have literally, for you long-term listeners, will you please tell JP how much he's talked about this the last year and a half?
Well, may I say,
Yes.
on my defense, that in the time that I've been talking about buying a new camera, my
Everything's
old camera's been
changed.
making me money every single week. I
Right.
keep making the money. The money keeps rolling in every
All
single week.
right.
And I still have my $12,000.
Hey, way to go. Did you invest it?
Yeah, actually.
Oh,
I did,
great.
actually.
Way to go.
Last year.
Oh, man.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, this was a great last year to invest in.
It was a
So your
great year.
$12,000 turned
Yep.
into 15.
There you have it.
All
There
right.
you have it. So I'm looking, if I were buying a new camera, and I'm looking at the Sony A9, I now have to consider the the 1D Mark II. I have to look at that
That's
camera
so
seriously.
funny how that happened.
Yeah, because now all of a sudden
Price perception.
we're at $4,500 versus $6,000. Okay,
it-
it's $1,500 difference, but you know,
But you've got 15,000. You just made $3,000 on the stock market, JP. This is total speculation, by the way. Yeah.
right. Maybe I bought
Yeah.
United stocks. Who knows?
Oh,
Who knows?
They're probably doing fine now.
They're probably fine now. Probably
Yeah.
bounce back.
I will never fly United again unless it's the cheapest option, and then I will
Exactly.
definitely fly United.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'll bring a flak jacket, but we'll all be fine.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Okay, moving on. Sorry.
Moving on.
I'm a little bit distracted today.
Yes, we are.
Some comments on
Well, no, I think definitely continuous thought though. So,
Okay, I'm just feeling like
Yeah.
the specs of the A9 start to push it towards the 1D Mark II, but now the Mark II is suited more to what I would do, more video oriented, more still oriented, versus the A9 is more sports oriented, and that's my thought.
I've seen that 1D Mark II. I've seen some of the video that comes off that sensor, and it's really pretty.
It's pretty, yeah.
So I don't know.
What
Yeah.
bit is the Mark II?
I have no idea. Maybe 100.
No, like 8-bit, 14-bit.
Oh, I'm sure it's 4. What's that? 14. I'm sure it's 14. Yeah.
Is it 14?
It's their
bit?
pro camera. Yeah, of course.
So this is 14-bit.
Yeah, but that's photo. Photo is always going to be 14-bit. But
Yeah, no, I'm talking about video.
Oh, I have no idea. I think it's 10-bit 420, which is
The
what
Mark II?
the Mark II.
Yeah, 10-bit. And that makes sense because the A9 is 8-bit.
I don't think so.
No?
I thought it was 10. I thought it was 10-bit 420 as well.
We should know this better. Than we know. Hey,
but it's a live show.
Yeah, I don't know here.
We're all in our respective places, and anybody wants to jump in there?
Throw it out there for us. Help us out here. All right, let's move on.
Moving on.
I should quit asking questions I don't know the answer to.
I know. You expect me to know the answer. You put me on the spot. So what are our questions, Judy?
Okay, so we have some comments on the A9 video specs not being very good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they weren't as impressive as that. What is it they didn't like about the video specs?
Yeah, on the A9. What don't you like? There's no C-Log,
Well,
which...
Sully said if Sony doesn't come out
Well,
with
it's a
4K
Sony. It's S-Log.
S-Log. Of course there's no C-Log.
60 frame per second at 10-bit.
Oh, that's right. There's no S-Log on that camera.
No S-Log.
Oh, my word. You got to be kidding me.
But when was the last time you used S-Log, JP?
I hate S-Log.
I hate S-Log on the Sony cameras, so I'm fine with that.
They
Yeah.
said that camera's 8-bit.
Okay.
8-bit? Yeah, that's what I thought. 8-bit.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
so the Mark II is 10-bit.
I don't know. Is the Mark II 10-bit or is the A9 8-bit?
We're just dying here.
We are dying. Man, I'm never doing this live again.
All right, moving
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Any other questions there?
Um,
Any other questions we can ask the audience to answer?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We've never proclaimed to be gear professionals. Yes, we have.
Yes, we
This is
have.
the whole title of the show. Photo
Yeah,
Video
Photo
Trends.
Video Trends.
What's happening today in the photo video world?
Yeah. All right.
the Rex Files wants to know, is there anywhere to go with the A7S MK3? The A7S MK2 already is a beast.
Yeah, that's true. So the A7, I think it's just going to be, at this point, just like higher frame rates and for video. So, sorry, the question was, where's the A7S III? What's that going to do that the
Where's it gonna
A7S II doesn't already do? And I think just 4K higher frame rates, so 60, maybe 96, 120
No,
frames.
it does 120. The two.
But at 4K is what I'm saying.
Oh, at 4K.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and
Yeah.
1080p. You know, can we get into
that's
the
it.
240, 480 world? Can we get into that world? I don't know. I mean, Sony has other like consumer cameras that do that, and I think that was like kind of a let's try this out, let's see how our processors do, let's work
Yeah.
this out, maybe mentality. So I think that is higher frame rates, which is always very useful. Can be a really nice tool to have. Dynamic range would be great. 422 color space would be really fantastic. An option, even like a 4K max 24 30 frames a second at a 422 color space would be very, very helpful. 10-bit 422, kind of take the Panasonic
It's gonna
GH5
just be
route.
that. So there's always
Yeah.
room. There's room for it to bump the
Totally.
specs up, you
Totally.
know, and bump the price up a tiny bit, and off you go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, any other questions on the A9? It's a great camera. Kenneth and I are gonna do a complete review.
I did see, the video they released. It's like some guy snowing or skiing in the mountains. It was really beautiful. I watched it on my 4K TV, and I was going,
Oh,
wow,
nice.
wow, 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 wow. This is like the actual noise in the video was so minimal. It was really pretty. So you know what? This lack of S-Log, in my mind, isn't a big deal because you've got enough control in your picture profile menus that you can really dial something in.
Figure that out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, going on here. This little photo thing that I never say this guy's name right. Sal Shikota.
Okay.
Shikota. Is that right, Judy?
Sincata? Sal Sincata?
Yeah. Well, he owns Shutterfest. And he won the grand prize of 11 top 3 finishers across the total 70 categories in the company's image competition. So the owner of the
Wow.
company won
11 of the 17 prizes.
11 of the top. No.
In
Oh, he
11
did.
categories.
He won in 11 of the 17 finalist categories. The owner of Shutterfest did.
He said it's fine because there was no monetary prize, and he passed along the other prizes to other winners.
Grand prize, too.
Oh, man. So who was the panel?
Yeah,
Just people trying
his
to
wife
impress
and
him?
his daughter.
Yeah, exactly. All of his interns.
You know what? In my mind, it just hurts everything in this whole world of photo contests and being peer judged. You know, it's if you enter your own contest, that's just already a problem.
Yeah.
I mean, it just
It might be a
is.
conflict. Enter a pseudonym. like a.
Jacket too tight.
Right. Oh man. What do you call it? An alias, just an alias.
An alias.
I have director friends that
E.T..
are aliases.
Really?
Aliasi. What's
Aliasi?
what's the plural
I
on
don't know.
alias? Yeah, that want to direct like TV or film, but then they'll do like a low budget commercial, and they'll tell the producer to put a different name on the call sheet, and like then the outputs it's a different name. They want to protect their like director branding.
That's right. Oh,
Yeah.
how interesting.
Yeah.
Today's director is Sponge Bob.
Right, exactly. Probably not like
You
that.
can just call him
exactly.
Bob, though.
But yeah, just
You
call him
can
Bob.
him
Just call me Bob, guys. I'm cool. I'm a cool dude. I know you. You're not Bob. Anyway, moving on. That's funny. That's really funny.
It is funny.
That's a shame, actually.
All right, going on here.
Sky News being sued by a photographer after embedding his photo tweet in a news article. So what's this all about?
Well, Eddie Mitchell took a photo of a building fire in the UK. He allowed the fire station to use the photo on their Twitter. They did so without crediting him. Sky News then embedded the Twitter in an article that ran about the fire. Mitchell is now suing them, saying they didn't get permission to post the photo.
Interesting.
He says if they had contacted the department, they would have been told the department did not own the copyright to the photo. Embedding tweets in articles is a common and even encouraged practice. Sky News removed the tweet as soon as they were notified regarding the ownership of the photo.
What do you think?
I think he's absolutely right. You've got to protect photography rights, you know. And just because you put it up in, you allowed them to tweet it, that doesn't allow them to have ownership.
Right.
You know, it
Of course.
does not transfer the copyright. So at that point, he's right in protecting his copyright. He should.
Yeah.
And
what do you think, though, as a monetary, like
what's he going to get for it?
Yeah, what do you think he should get for it? Because obviously his lawyers are gonna go in and ask for $3 million or whatever. You know,
Yeah, I mean, if he was selling it, he'd probably been lucky to get $300. For
totally.
It.
So as a monetary compensation, now that they ran it without permission, do you think there should be a fee involved, a fine for running someone else's art without permission? Because I don't think there's a right or wrong answer here. I'm not trying to
I'll
lead
give
you.
you my perspective.
Yeah,
I think there absolutely should be a fine. I think
Totally.
they should fine him at least $10,000 or $20,000.
Totally.
I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Because they should know that they shouldn't do it again.
Yeah.
If you fine them $300, they'll do it every time they want.
Every single time.
You know, so you got to make it hurt. And
Yeah.
You got to make it recognized and make everyone
Newsworthy.
stand up and take notice, or it's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
What do you think though about like?
Judy's got a question.
You got to get the news. It's going fast. You got to get stuff out there. Do you have time to stop and find out who owns the photo?
I don't think getting permission or is
that
that.
it was embedded in the article. It's not like they just took the photo and took the actual tweet and stuck it in the article.
Yeah, Judy's argument is it was embedded in the tweet, and the fast-moving news. They're trying to get the story out there. I just don't think you can open up the door that just because it's fast-breaking news, you can do whatever you want.
Right.
And
Use anybody
later
else's
you can
stuff
figure
without
out
permission.
who owns stuff. You
Yeah.
know, I think that's bad.
Yeah.
Bad business.
Yeah.
Bad for the photo business, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Already our images aren't worth anything. You know, I mean, it's just the market for stock and resale has just plummeted and it's just taken a beating.
The
last thing we want is for people to say, well, it's the I was in a hurry defense. You know, it's like
you have AP images, right? You do that?
Well, I don't know. I don't do AP images. All my stuff's with Getty stock.
Oh, Getty stock.
So I
Okay, that's right.
send them Getty stock, and they sell them to all different. I don't do news things, so AP is really
yeah,
geared
it's just
towards
like news.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And Getty works well for you?
Oh yeah, I love Getty, and it's been a great experience for me. And I have my stock in different levels there. I've got rights managed. I've got, all the freer stuff they just send out. It's all there.
Let me ask, Art, when you have this is kind of a tangent, when you have a client that needs something, let's say it's lifestyle, family in the living room or whatever, and it's kind of not brand specific, there's no brand in the actual photo, but you did it for a client that paid you really well to do the shoot, can you then take that image and put it in Getty Images and let other people use it? Or do you have to have specific, like special permission to do that from your client? Or would you just not do it at all?
Well, this kind of opens up several different issues. One is if you give your clients a 1-year usage, and then you give them the option, in my mind, to renew after that 1 year, then you've covered yourself with the client. If they say, no, we're not interested.
Then at that point, after a year.
Then that's the first level. The second level is the talent in the image.
Oh.
You've got to negotiate with the talent up front that you have the rights when the usage expires to the agency to sell them now.
Yeah, but I've seen the model releases. It's like we have the right to use this image for this or like commercial or TV, anything we want, and you give us permission, and everybody just signs that.
Well, not everyone. If you're doing a shoot where there's any kind of money involved, then the talent's a little more savvy, and they're not going to just sign up. But the Getty release, if they sign a Getty release, it basically says we can use your likeness for anything except for pornography and pornographic things.
Totally.
And so if they sign that, they've really given up their rights. It's interesting because they'll sign that sometimes, and then if they see their image again later,
and then they'll come back and say,
"Whoa!" Yeah, they'll get upset, and I tell people this all the time. I said, "Look," and I've done this a lot. If I'm doing a big shoot and I think, this is going to have value in the future, I'm going to give you a stock bump, and I'm going to pay you another $200.
Oh, cool! And you'll let them know.
Now it's up front. They know that we're going to give them the stock bump. And at that point, there's no coming back. And I tell them all the time, look, if there's 4 models in this thing and I give you each $200 stock bump, that's an $800 payout. I would probably be a miracle if I made $800 on this image
in a lifetime.
Unless it's really specialized and really interesting and really something very, very unique. But generally speaking, I mean, there was a time when you would be making, and I made, $8,000 and $10,000, $20,000 on an image.
No way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, it was rights and usage. I had poker-sticking cows that I would sell.
And you think my generation's entitled. No, I think my generation's entitled. Yeah, that's amazing.
I didn't say your generation's entitled.
That's what I said. I said that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I was just giving you a hard time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, there's a little thing on stock photography. I need to do a complete rundown of where stock photography is at today.
Do you know where stock photography is at today?
Yeah, because I'm with Getty, and I have a pretty good sense of where it's at.
I'm curious to know if any of our users use Adobe stock.
That I think is the future, and I've said this many times, because it just integrates so easily with Premiere and with Photoshop, and you pull it down and pull an image and off you go. I think if you're not selling your images to Adobe stock, you're crazy.
Are you selling your images to Adobe stock?
No.
You're crazy.
I am crazy. But I'm so entrenched at Getty, it'd be crazy for me to do it.
Okay.
Although, you know what? I have images they've rejected, and they probably are there. We send them out. I don't even know where any of them are. I get these checks like graduation photo, 75 cents.
No way.
I do.
Oh, man.
Well, it's not checks anymore. They PayPal.
Okay.
Transfer it to PayPal.
You still, I mean.
You get a 75-cent fee when you use
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Cool.
So, anyway.
All right.
Photography.
So we talked about the Roscoe Silk 205 and the 305.
I love these silk lights. The first time we turned them on set, Andy goes, and now when he took my truck out last time, he goes, how come the third silk isn't here?
Yeah.
I go, yeah, what's wrong?
Yeah.
I mean, and he was pretty excited about the 305 because it's more powerful than the 210.
Can you get them?
And they've got a great big one that's not released yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this is going to be more
talk about
400 series.
Ooh.
It was in their booth.
Yeah,
but
it's the 2x2 or the 4x1?
It's a 2x2.
Yeah.
No, it's a 2x2.
Square.
2x2 square. It may have been more than, it may be 3x. Anyway, very, very powerful. Very powerful. I'm excited about that.
That's great.
That's not going to be a cheap light, though. That's going to be in the $3,000 or $4,000 range.
For sure.
Yeah.
Understandable. Yeah.
Yep.
LEDs.
Okay.
I wish I had more I was just so focused on RGBW lights. So I wish I had more to talk about from NAB, but that was my main focus, and I saw a lot of cool things. A lot of Chinese manufacturers that were coming out with some stuff. I don't know them. I don't necessarily trust them.
Yeah, it's hard. I go down, I see this row of LED lights, and I'm going,
cool.
Yeah.
But are they? What's the CRI? What's the color? You just want to. You almost need to bring a color meter to NAB and test that kind of stuff.
Speaking of a color meter.
Yeah. Go ahead.
We have been working with Illuminati. We are not getting paid by Illuminati to sell their meter or anything, but I just think a color meter that is $300 is an incredible deal. And I know people on our lessons start going, that's just expensive, $300. For a color meter, that is not expensive.
You clearly don't know what color meters do.
No.
Or how much they cost.
Yeah.
Like they're just very expensive.
So get in on that Kickstarter campaign. If you want a color meter, it interfaces with your phone, either iPhone. Well, they don't have the iPhone app yet, but they do have the Android version.
Okay.
And it's just you
By
get
time-
all the readouts on your phone.
By the time you get it though, it'll be iPhone, right? By the time they ship them.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh no, that's that they will ship with that app. That's all they have to finish.
Yeah.
Michael and the guys over at Illuminati were in color scientific meters. That's what they did.
You could tell.
Yeah, so it's
that guy was so smart.
Yeah, I mean they're really into the science of color metering, and it's also a flash meter and a exposure meter. So it's everything light meter. It's really incredible. So anyway, there's our Illuminati.
Yeah.
Punch. I did want to mention this. I thought this was great.
I got it right here.
You got it right there. It's called the Rugo. It's the from Fox Fury. Just a little light there, little punchy light that it's got kind of all the battery workings in the back. Nice.
That's pretty bright.
In the camera.
I'm sure that's really bright.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm feeling bright.
Yeah.
I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it.
What are we, like F5?
5.6.
In this room with our exposure?
I think so.
Yeah, so 5.6 at 800 ISO.
Yeah.
So that's probably blowing you out a little bit.
Yeah.
How's that feel on your face?
Feels bright.
Anyway.
But the build of these lights is fabulous. I mean, it just is.
The construction feels really great. You know, it reminds me of Sound Devices.
Yeah.
Their casings.
Yep.
It's just like really robust.
You can drop that thing 20 times and it's not going to bother it a bit.
Yeah, but 21, don't you dare.
21, you're done.
It's broken. Yeah.
No, I don't know.
I don't know.
Do 24.
Yeah.
One never knows.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Keep going if you have more.
There's
more
one last
thoughts.
thing. It's just this thing. The way it's built is all the battery all of the intelligence is up in the back here, and the battery, and then the front is the LED, or the vice versa. Intelligence in the back, LEDs up front, so they can shove on new LEDs, colored LEDs. Anyway, interesting light. If you can shove that on your camera, do kind of event kinds of things. Great light.
Yeah. The other cool thing at NAB, I think my favorite thing actually, the showstopper for me, if you will,
the showstopper
was Tilta.
Oh yeah.
Has a wireless follow focus system. So you have two motors, all right, with the transmitter built into the motors, a control for focus, iris, and aperture. Sorry, that's the same. Focus, iris, and zoom.
There you go.
Broke my brain. And two handles, handheld handles, so you could like throw Rosettas on your camera and have zoom and focus control on the handles.
Right there on the handles.
But, okay, so that's not new. We've had this technology for years and years. What is new is the price.
The price point.
$1,200 for everything.
That's insane.
If you do any kind of cinema builds, Ronin or whatever, and you're wanting to get wireless follow focus, this blows everything else. I don't know about quality. Maybe quality's fine, but price-wise,
it's an incredible price.
And Tilta's, this is their 4th or 5th edition of some sort of wireless follow focus device. So they know the technology. They know what they're doing. It was a little bit clunky. The handles were not clunky, but like I could feel just a little bit of delay, maybe here and there on the focus and zoom. They said they're working that out, and by the time they ship in July, that's not going to be a problem. But I immediately signed up for pre-order.
Oh, you did?
Oh, heck yeah.
For $1,200?
Look, man, I've got my Amira with ingenue zoom, right? And I do so much run and gun, single operator stuff. So if I can have focus and zoom in my handheld handles, I never have to take my hand off I never have to reset again. Like, I just keep my eye on the eyepiece and I just move and do this and I'm good to go.
That's nice.
It's the coolest thing. The only thing I need now is a start-stop on the handle. So I can boop with my thumb.
It doesn't have that?
I don't think so.
Oh, that would be so nice.
Hey, guys.
Yeah, Tilta,
how about
get a record,
start-stop?
Man.
They maybe do. Maybe they do. I don't know.
The Tilta rigs that we have for the A7S and the A7R2 do. You got that handle that start and stop.
Nice.
Beautiful.
What do you guys think? Anybody can? It's the Nucleus M.
What's
I
that?
think.
I've had a lot of people that saw it and like it.
Yeah. And does anybody know if it has
a
start-stop in the handle controls? Somebody find out for me, because that's like. Even it has to be tethered to the camera with a cable, like a little.
It would have to be.
Yeah, 2-pin, 5-pin.
Sure.
I mean, Amira has wireless capabilities, so I think you can.
Amira. Maybe that's why I should shoot my feature on the Amira.
You should shoot your feature on the Amira.
Not the
It
Alexa.
no, 4K. It's half the weight. And I just like, because I didn't know how much I was going to use the 4K. I just shot a TV series in 4K, and I hit up the director last weekend, and I was like, talk to me about how it's working. He says, love it, looks great. He says, and the 4K, the extra pixels, I can't tell you how useful it is. Just like, it doubles, it almost doubles your coverage, and it's like, it's just, I don't know.
I've been saying that since I shot stuff for the.
And I dog on 4K all the time.
Oh, I've been saying that ever since I did stuff with the Atomos recorders. I mean, you got 4K. It's like having two cameras. You can punch in on an interview. You can just adjust the frame a little bit. You can start giving some movement on the frame.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of things you can do.
I would personally never go 200% on a 4K image, but 150%, right? So you can like come in, move the camera left or whatever. Maybe do some so dramatic pushes. He said was really nice.
So you just let it drift in.
Yeah. Well, he just this particular series we did a lot of epic wides of the space, right? So it was all shot on stage, so we were able to just move walls out and get really weird and stuff. And I'll have to show you some stills. It was really fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, he says we just do these slow, like it's a dolly, move, which like you can tell it's not a dolly because the compression's different, but still, like it's helping them quite a bit.
Doesn't change the perspective at all.
Not at all.
Not dolly.
No,
Yeah,
it's a zoom. It's a zoom.
It's a crop in.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. But he says it's adding dramatic effect, here
Sure,
and there, like
sure.
when they need it. So it's great.
So it has start, but stop only for certain cameras.
It has start, but it's got to be special to stop. I'm sure with the Amira.
Sully says you need to change the cables for each camera's protocol.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, so you have to change the cables for
But
each camera's
start
protocol.
without
But
stop
start,
doesn't make
stop,
any sense.
control on the handles, zoom, focus, start, stop on the handles. I never have to take my hands off the handles again.
And then
That's so great.
we had a couple people that said they bought the Lens Hound because you liked it.
Oh, right.
And Sully wants to know how that compares to the Tilta.
Okay, so the Lens Hound didn't have quite the power and the torque. So I liked the Lens Hound for a minute, and it just the build.
Lars is he just keeps moving ahead.
ADHD,
I'm still trying to
ADHD,
decide what
man.
new camera to make.
Oh, totally,
Fine.
yeah,
2.5 years later.
yeah. But the stock market's up, so there's that. Your generation's so responsible. So proud of you guys. Oh man.
Why do I feel like it's just patronizing?
So the Lens Hound was great, and I'm glad that a lot of you got. Because I've got a Lens Hound too.
Was fabulous.
But the problem I had with it was on my cinema lenses. Some of them it didn't have quite the torque.
Didn't have enough to move them
That I
like you
needed
wanted.
it, right? And the speed wasn't there too. So like if I went to Z mode, which was like more torque, less speed, it like if I needed to do some sort of fast or like my ACs needed to keep up with a pole, they couldn't do it. So Lens Hound. The build quality, the handle was like the casing
It's
was
like a $600
plastic.
item, right?
Yeah, it was like $500, $600,
Yeah,
and it was
reasonable.
the handle was plastic. So there were a couple things that weren't super awesome about it that I think were definitely resolved in this new thing. So the Nucleus. All about that.
Okay, I'm going to move on to something I thought was really cool.
Okay.
LaCie has a too big Dock Thunderbolt 3 drive.
That was neat. I did see that.
Did you see it?
Yeah, with the dock on the bottom. So cool.
So you know what they've done is they've said, okay, all of you who are buying Thunderbolt 3 laptops from Macintosh, which have no ports on them, no USB.
The USB 3, yeah.
They have no. They have
USB-C.
USB 3.
USB-C.
They have Thunderbolt 3, so USB-C, but they have no regular USB.
Right, of course, yeah.
No, nothing.
No.
All they have is USB-C or Thunderbolt 3.
Right.
That's all they have.
Yeah.
So Jillian has one, her new laptop.
Yeah.
And it's like she's got all these dongles or
It's like growing limbs, these MacBooks.
Well, this is a great setup because you hook one of the Thunderbolt 3 cables into this drive. You got two drives. It's got an SD card slot. It's got a compact flash card slot. It's got a USB slot. It becomes a dock.
Thunderbolt, USB 3.
It's a backup system and a dock system. It's fabulous. And you can get this thing in like 12, 16, or 20 terabyte configurations.
Wow.
So that's the fabulous thing. They have broken that barrier on drives. We're now looking at 10 terabyte drives. Is
Single
no big
drives,
deal. Yeah,
right.
single drives, which is fabulous for storage.
I don't know if it's no big deal yet.
Wow.
How much are they? 10 terabyte drive. Seagate. How much is a Seagate 10 terabyte unhoused,
I can't remember.
just
I
a
don't know.
raw
I don't
10
know.
terabyte drive? I don't think they're super cheap by any
No, it
means.
can't be cheap. But it's a matter though of with 4K capabilities and cameras, the storage thing is a crisis.
Totally.
A crisis for most people. And you've got to have 8 and 10 terabyte drives because otherwise, how many housings are you going to buy? 30, 40, 50 of them, and put 4 terabyte drives in them?
I've probably got 60, 70 terabytes hanging out on my desk at home. And it's and mostly in different drives.
See, we got a
piling
whole
up.
backup system.
I have a tape naming labeling system now for my drives.
Nice.
That's not nice. That is I'm trying to avoid that. That's not what I want.
Look at this Slanted Lens thing on storage.
I know.
Just a simple process.
Yeah, I know. I would. You know what those 12 bay or 10 bay? Let's see.
A 12 big. 12 big is or 10 big or 12 big are just fabulous.
That's so crazy though.
They're
so crazy.
Like 10 grand.
I know they are not cheap.
10 grand, but it's almost 100 terabytes.
I know.
Now think about that that's a lot.
Yeah.
100 terabytes for 10 grand.
The problem is when you go to Target and you see a 4 terabyte Western Digital portable drive for like $100, you go, oh, okay, well, that's 4 times the cost.
Yeah, no problem. Just tape those together
Yeah.
You're going to have like
Yeah.
10 of them.
Build your own array.
There you go. Just take all those cables and funnel them into some kind of a device. You know,
Write
put
some
a RAID
software
system,
for it.
Write some software, yeah. Take the next 3 years, and you'll have saved yourself.
10,000, or I guess
You'll have saved
like
yourself absolutely
$5,000,
nothing
yeah.
because of all the time you
Totally,
wasted on it.
absolutely.
And then the drives all go.
yeah, yep,
You're
yep.
dead.
All right, Judith. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry I called you that.
You are so fired.
I'm so fired.
You're gonna
Judy.
start again.
I've never heard of
Jude. Hey, Jude.
Oh, that's-
How about
JP's
Jude?
gonna start.
Judy.
No, no.
Yeah. How about Jude? I'm
I
gonna
know,
call you
does it
Jude.
annoy you?
Jude is fine.
Jude is fine because the
Does it annoy
Beatles.
you? Because it annoys you, I can certainly make it annoy.
You can write that into your contract.
G37.
I've heard of
wants
Inspector
to know what you
G37.
think of the Canon 70D for stills.
Uh-oh.
The 70D for stills?
Canon
You know,
70D.
My sense of the Canon 70D is a great entry level, not entry level, it's above entry level, it's not a Rebel, but it's certainly a great camera, but you're still on that crop sensor. You can do fabulous work for portraits and you can shoot weddings on that, but if you're... I am so sorry.
Everybody sneezes, JP. It's okay. You got another one in there?
Nope.
You gotta push it out?
Nope, I'm
You
good.
look at the light?
I'm good.
Okay, yeah. Does that help you?
No.
Helps
not
me.
at all.
If I'm outside and I
Does it
look at
really?
the sun.
Really?
Yeah, if I feel a sneeze coming on. Anybody else? Like if yes.
Never heard
Dislike
that.
if no. I'm sorry. Comment if no.
Look at the sun to stop a sneeze?
No, to start a sneeze.
Oh, to start a sneeze?
To follow through on your sneeze.
There's no way
If I'm
that
feeling it,
works.
I'm like, oh man. I just look at the sun. Boom.
That is a totally a response you created. I'm looking at the sun. Watch your
No, it works.
The 70D, guys.
70D.
Okay, the 70D. My sense of the 70D
Yeah.
is spend the extra $1,000, step up to a full frame camera.
Not even $1,000. What does a
No.
70D cost? $1,100?
Oh no, it's more than that. I think it's
$1,200?
12 or 13.
All right. So whatever it is, get a 60.
60. That's what I was gonna say.
Get a
Even if you buy
60.
an old
Even if you buy a
60.
new 60, or get a used one for about the same price,
Yeah.
or
Or a
you know,
60
and
new
get
one.
get that full frame, man. You're gonna see the biggest difference from going from your Rebel to a full frame sensor, not your Rebel to another crop sensor.
And you know what? It affects things the exact same way in stills as it does for video. If you're at 2.8 on a 200mm lens on a full frame sensor, your focus falls off a whole lot faster than it does on the 70D on a crop sensor. It's not going to fall off as fast. It just can't. You're going to have to open up to like a 1.2 or something to give you something equivalent.
Totally.
So I think you're smart to step up to that camera. If you have the 70D, congratulations. You have a fabulous camera.
Way to go.
Yeah,
We're so happy
don't-
for you.
I
We
don't
really
want to
are.
make you feel bad about it because it is a great camera. My
Yeah.
son-in-law uses one and loves it. I love the focusing on it. You know, it has really great focus features as far as being able to tap and the touch screen on the back. So make that camera work. But if you're trying to decide, step up that 60.
If the focusing doesn't matter, the autofocus,
the
if that doesn't
autofocus.
matter as much, then the 60 is awesome.
Yep,
It's awesome.
there you go.
Other questions, Judy?
Yeah, they want to know if you guys saw the Waterbird bending slider at NAB.
I didn't.
Which one?
It's a bendable slider.
I didn't see it.
I think
Waterbird bendable slider.
I think
I
I,
didn't see it.
saw this at a distance. I did not go over to examine it though. No,
Yeah.
that sounds interesting.
It does sound interesting. So what's
So
that?
you can reconfigure to different different.
So if you've got talent that's 10 feet away, you can change the pitch. If you've got talent 5 feet away, you can change the pitch so that it stays.
Yeah,
Different
it just,
configurations?
It goes in like a semicircle. And
Okay. I'll have to look into it.
Yeah.
Sounds interesting.
Say the name again.
Waterbird.
Waterbird or Waterberg?
Bird.
Waterbird.
Waterbird bendable
All right,
slider.
That sounds very interesting.
Yeah, we'll have to
Check
look into that.
out.
Yeah.
While we're listening for more questions, join our Facebook group. We've got a great group on Facebook that's posting images, putting stuff up there.
Live
all the time.
videos, quite a bit.
Got time lapse, got everything going on up there. So get over there and join our Facebook group. Become a part of the Slanted Lens family.
Yeah.
So we can hug and hold you,
Yeah.
whatever that means.
Yeah. Sounds like NPR all of a sudden.
It does.
Become a part of the.
Become.
It's like it's that time of year again where we do our.
It is. We're
Drive
gonna be out in
the,
North
uh,
Dakota,
yeah,
hugging
yeah.
a small barrel that was left by a boy on the side of the road.
We love NPR, by the way.
Yes,
We're not.
we do.
It's there's.
Nicely done.
You have to be
You-
named
you
Robert or
breathy-
Ira,
You
and
breathy,
neither of us are
low-speaking
named.
guys and girls.
Neither of us are named Robert or Ira, so
No,
we couldn't
we
do
just can't do
NPR.
it. They
So
won't have us.
they won't have us.
Nope, we
Just
were cut
not gonna
in the
have it.
beginning.
Yeah. All right. Sorry. What's up, Judy?
So
Jude?
Steve King says his issue with the A9 is he likes the body, but it doesn't have decent lenses.
Doesn't have dents?
Decent lenses.
Oh, it doesn't have
So
decent
he's
lenses.
used to the Nikon 400, 200 to 400, good sports lenses that you can't use.
Oh, interesting. Interesting.
That is really interesting.
Interesting because it's supposed to be a
sports camera. So what is?
So the body precedes the lens choice. The
Yeah.
lens selection.
So okay, so for sports photography, a 200 to 400 range millimeter lens is sort of necessary or essential, right? So Sony doesn't really have that lens library yet. So and so who cares about speed if you can't have a lens that's going to focus that fast?
You know, as I've got Sony's, the A7S, I've got the A7R2, I got Metabones on all of them, and you know what? It's not the same. They sometimes I'm looking at it going, why is the frame going so dark all of a sudden? Oh, the Metabones. Got to reconnect it.
Oh wow.
Happening a lot now.
Wow.
And actually, I don't want to make this as a judgment, but it seems like the Sigma. I have one Sigma and two Metabones, and it seems like the Sigma is not performing as well as the
Metabones.
The Metabones. And I thought the Sigma was going to be like the answer.
The better one.
Yeah,
the best
it hasn't
one.
proved to be the case. But you're still using something adapting your lenses. There's my biggest problem. That's why I'm looking at this 1D Mark II, because I've got all my lenses are EF mount.
What do they call that? Price creep?
Yeah, price creep.
Price creep. Where you're just like, when suddenly $4,500 is acceptable, and you're going, oh, cool. And then you go, wait, for just $1,500 more.
Because when I was looking at $3,200 versus $6,000.
That's a big difference.
Yeah,
that's twice
now
as
if
much.
I'm looking at $4,500 versus $6,000 is a big difference.
We are just ruts in the machine, man. We
are ruts.
Just tumbling down the machine. We are just in that rat race, 100%.
We are ruts. I heard a great story about ruts.
Yeah? Is it? Yeah, I mean, do we have time on the live show?
Why is it the railroads are 4 foot 8 inches wide? It's because they made wagons 4 foot 8 inches wide. Why did they make wagons that wide? Because they had to fit in the ruts that were on the roads. Why did they have ruts in the roads? Because the Romans made the roads, and the Romans made the roads and dug the ruts into the stone, and so they had to be 4 foot 8 inches wider to break the axles on the wagons. Why did the Romans make it that wide? Because it was the width of 2 horses' rear ends, 4 foot 8 inches. That's a true story.
That's
and
amazing.
That's why railroads are 4 foot 8 inches wide.
Wow.
So it just shows you that horses' rear ends are in charge.
Wow.
No, that's not a joke.
That's thousands of years.
1,000 years has
still
controlled technology.
Wow.
Yeah.
How did they know what 4 foot 8 inches wide was?
They stuck 2 horses together and they put a stick out there. They go, it's going to be this wide for
This is
it.
This is the width.
There was no measuring. It's like that wide. And that turned out to be 4 foot 8 inches.
That's fascinating.
Anyway.
Wow.
So where were we? We digress.
We're doing something.
Whatever.
Any other questions?
Follow us on Twitter, Instagram.
That's what we were talking about. That's
it.
Facebook. I love our live shows on Facebook. Our little your live things, unboxing a new lens, or
I'm so excited.
The first impressions of the A9.
Yeah, that was fun.
That's fun stuff. And if you just join the Facebook group, I did it, and I get the notification that JP just started a live video, or Slanted Lens did, and I'll open it and I'll watch for a minute. It's fun.
I love that. When Toro at Black Magic went live the other day, what's Toro up to, man? Check it out.
Absolutely. So it's fun.
So there you have it.
Cool.
All right. We also have affiliate links to support the show, B&H and Amazon. You know, if you're thinking about buying any of the camera things that we've talked about here today, go through our affiliate links. It really helps us to support the show and keep us moving ahead. So.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Any other questions or anything else?
Yeah. Samuel says he's getting a new GH5.
GH5.
Nice camera.
Wants to know if he should keep his D7200 as a backup, throw around camera, or sell it and invest in more glass.
His C what?
His D7200.
Oh, D7200.
Nikon.
Wow, that's a good question.
That's a good question.
You know, here's my sense about these kinds of things.
You should keep the D7200 Nikon or get rid of it?
I would get rid of it and try to get 2 cameras that are in the same world.
He would invest in more glass, he said.
Oh, yeah.
If he sold it.
100%.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so
but I can't live with 1 camera.
Yeah, you can't.
I can't.
No, can I?
So it's pretty hard. Like I'm out scouting for this feature with this gal, and I'm going, okay, I can't throw the Alexa or the Amira in every. What am I going to use as a backup to that camera? I can't put 2 Amiras out there. I can't put 4 of them out there.
Sometimes single cam is a really, really great thing, JP. I personally,
in the butt.
No,
I got a fight scene where she's kicking the butt on these 4 guys. I can't cover that. Okay, do it again.
Yeah.
Another angle. Okay, let's get another angle here.
Yeah. Well, if you were a professional, maybe you could.
Ow.
Okay.
You know, if you're a professional stunt guy, they're not going to do it 10 times.
Yeah, they will.
No, they will not.
Maybe
But
not.
they probably, if they're at that level, that they won't do it 10 times, they probably have 10 cameras on it because they can afford to have 10 cameras on it.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. No, no, no.
More questions. Sorry.
No more questions.
Daniel wants to know the best compact camera for stills.
Best compact camera for stills.
I know what you're going to say.
Yeah.
What are you going to say?
Sony.
Yeah.
Yeah. Compact. That's mirrorless. That's they got rid of that shutter, so you've got a lot more room to squish those camera bodies closer together. So I have the 6300, A6300 or 6500 if you want that axis stabilization on the sensor. They're cool cameras. They really are. I put a Sigma 30mm 1.4. It's like
nice.
a cheap $340 Amazon lens.
Yeah.
And yeah, I really like it.
I think the A7R2, if you can afford that.
If you can afford full
I
frame.
think that's a very compact camera. I don't think you have to go to the A6500, but you get a 40 megapixel camera.
Yeah, A6300 is almost too compact.
I think it is.
It's so, like, your fingers don't wrap around it.
That was the A9. That's one of the things on the A9. They put a special little thing you can twist in the bottom for your little finger because it's so small you can't get your hand on the whole camera.
So funny. And they made it bigger.
Yeah, they made it bigger and they put a place for your little finger because you're getting feedback going. You can't stabilize this thing. You can't hold it and use it like a professional camera. You know, and when I met this guy at Starbucks buying a lens from him, and he was selling all of his A7R2 and everything because he wanted to get the smaller A6500 because the A7R2 was just too big.
It's so funny.
Going, dude, you know, it just doesn't make any sense to me.
That to me sounds like he was just coming up with the quickest excuse to sell you a camera
that he stole from somebody.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Starbucks, Craigslist. I've been in that situation before where I'm going, yeah, okay, I'm gonna take the camera because it's a really good deal. But I'm afraid you stole this.
They were making out in the parking lot before we got there.
Yeah, that screams trust, JP.
I'm going, now there's a dude I can trust.
All right.
Watch, he's going to be listening to this
show. I hope so.
Me too.
Yeah. All right, any other questions?
Yeah, we had somebody wondering what you think about the small HD focus external monitor.
I didn't even check it out. Small HD, external monitor.
It's a 5-inch micro HDMI monitor. It's really bright, so you can see it outside. It's about $500.
Here's my thought on all super bright monitors. Yeah. They're great for ACs. Great for ACs.
They're great for ACs pulling focus, but they're terrible for anything else.
I can't. As a DP, they scare the heck out of me because I never can trust them, right? Unless it just lives on false color. If it only displays false color, then I'll go look at it. But if it's like, I can't tell you how many times I've had an AC bring one of those bright small HD whatever monitors on set, and they'll have it on off to their side of the camera, and I'll have a director come by and go, oh, Lars, this isn't what we talked about.
Yeah, this isn't what we talked about. I love that.
It's really bright in there. And I'll go, come look at my eyepiece. Come look at my TV Logic. Come here, come to this side. And then they'll go, oh yeah, that's really nice. I like that. I like that. I'm like, of course you do. Like, these bright monitors, they're great for ACs. DPs, I can't stand them. Build me a tent.
This reminds me of a story. I was shooting for Universal Studios.
Yeah, that's why they're 4 feet 8 inches wide.
We were shooting at Universal.
It's a great story.
So we were shooting Universal Studios. We were going fast. We threw up to do this shot. There's water. There's all kinds of crazy stuff. And we broke our rule. We didn't take a meter reading. This is in days of film. So you got to be within a quarter of a stop. I'm going, I'll look at the Polaroid. I look at the Polaroid in direct sunlight. Wow, we're way overexposed. And so when I get the film, holy cow, we're 2 stops underexposed. Man.
Underexposed?
Yeah.
Oh no.
You can't really see anything. In those days you couldn't push stuff that far.
No.
The client's going, wow, this is an interesting look. Yeah, we chose an interesting look for this shot.
We exposed
the
brightest part of the water as our 50% gray because that was the character we felt of that scene was the brightness of the water and the roaring and that we messed up.
There you go.
We underexposed it.
We have one more question.
All right, one more question.
Time to wrap it up.
Okay,
one more question. Then Judy tells us it's time to wrap it up.
Yeah.
So, Sully wants to know if you saw the Chimera variable diffusion.
Yes.
Or the new hypercore batteries.
Yes, we did. We looked at that.
The Chimera.
Or the what? What was the second one?
Or the new hypercore batteries that charge 130 watt ATT-hour battery in less than 20 minutes.
I didn't see that, but I heard about
I did
it.
not see that. No, that's
Sorry.
interesting.
Just bought just some batteries.
Yeah, you did. How much are those
Okay,
batteries?
so the variable diffusion from Chimera. So this is like a prototype. They had a 4x diffusion frame.
A 4x, and then they had a smaller one there.
Yeah,
they
with
had
this
great big 4x.
and it's like a, what's the technology?
It's similar to what you do with a polarizer.
Right.
You know, where
well, it's ground glass kind of a thing, right?
I can't remember the technology.
So it's electronic. So he had a dial. He just like turned this dial up, and he went from like an opal or like a Hampshire frost to like a 216 white. Yeah. On diffusion. I mean, you can change. Like, and I asked him, how much do you think? I know it's a prototype right now, but how much do you think this 4x cut of diffusion is going to cost users? And he said, hard to say, but maybe about $1,000, which is crazy. But also, I can see very specific examples.
We had some calculation conversation about this.
We did.
A roll of gels is going to cost you $100.
160.
$160.
So say you want to buy 216 white, right? $160. Now let's say you want half grid. All right, another $160. So how many? That's 7 rolls of gel, and you've blown your budget. Okay. Or this guy that effectively does everything in
so
between.
I can see the application.
Also, if you're in a studio space, right?
Yeah.
And you've got different talent that comes in and out, right? You've got some different colors of skin. You've got different, you've got women, you've got men. So you want different shape or hardness or softness of light. Being able to just control this thing and change your exposure, I think is very fascinating.
Do you know what's hard about these kinds of products?
What's hard?
You have got to convince the industry to work differently than they're used to. You know, you got every grip, throwing up a frame with an opal in it, and you're now going to have to say, we've got to throw this up and run power.
Yeah.
And
unless it's a studio application.
And a studio application would be fat. If you have a TV show,
that's what I'm saying.
You're going to put those make a.
You've got a 2K as your key light, right? And you're filling this 4x frame, and you're going, hey, it's a male. It's like maybe he's different complexity of skin. So let's just go a little softer. Maybe we'll get closer to an opal, so we get a little bit of hardness, show his features a little bit more, and then you got this female that comes in and she's beautiful and she's whatever, and you just gotta harden it up and just fill that frame.
There will definitely be an application for this product.
Oh, yeah.
I think in theater, it could be a huge application.
Oh, fascinating.
You've got actors and scenes are all changing, and you now have the ability to not only dial your lights up or down, but also to soften them or make them more hard.
Do they have soft lights in theater? I just see park hands on those
stages. They use park hands a lot.
Just constantly
but now
park hands.
You could have soft lights.
Interesting.
Like a little soft light. I don't know.
Yeah. Fast. Any other questions, or we got to wrap it up?
403.
403.
We have been torturing you for an hour. Well, that was fun.
That was fun.
Getting out of that
there you go. I had a fun time in that show. I think maybe like a quarter of it was about photo video stuff.
The rest was about horses' ass.
Horses' rear ends.
Our goal each month will be to bring you some very fascinating, interesting, introspective story.
About the Romans.
About the Romans.
Yeah.
Won't guarantee that part, but there you have it.
Cool.
All right, so anything to wrap it up? Last thoughts here?
Oh, thanks for sticking around. Honestly, if you made it this
much.
far,
you are heroes.
Mwah.
Should we do a magic word?
A magic word. You earned it this time,
Secret word.
Secret word.
Affiliate link.
Affiliate link. Judy says.
You must have mentioned affiliate links again.
There's the magic word.
I think every comment on the show should include horses' rear ends in it.
Somehow. And it doesn't have to be exactly that phrase, right? So any kind of variation of horse's rear end.
Oh no, that's going to open the door.
You did it. You did it, man. Open that door. Open that door wide open. It's a French door, and it's massive. It's 4 feet 8 inches wide, that French door. Cool. There's the secret word.
We'll know which of you survived to the end and saw it all.
Oh, thanks for sticking around, seriously.
Keep those cameras rolling.
And keep on clicking.